What's going on, guys? Moto Fever Media back with another video today. Today we're going to be talking about the injuries in the 250 East class. So as I'm sure most of you saw, there was a pretty gnarly pile up going into turn 1 in the main event. But there's also some other injuries to talk about, so we're going to go ahead and go through all of them, get you guys up to date as far as everyone in the class and what they're going through and when we can expect to see them back. So first up, we got a couple of Star Racing Yamaha riders. As some of you may have seen, I already did a video on it. Enzo Lopes is dealing with numbness in his hand and was not prepared to race Detroit. So bummer to see that. Sounds like he should be able to come back for round number 2. He's got about a 3-week break to prepare. So would love to see him come back. Haiden Deegan, obviously suffering with that scaphoid issue in his wrist, and he did fall on the start of that main event. Now, he did finish pretty poorly. He wasn't able to come back through the field, but that looked to be mostly due to his bike being twisted up and not because he suffered further injury. Sounds like he got a little bit banged up, but the wrist didn't take any more extensive beating than it already had. Look for him to be back racing in round 2, probably feeling a little bit better than he did in round 1, even before the crash. Looking forward to that. Other than that, we got a couple of injured Club MX riders, unfortunately. So Club MX had a pretty rough night, other than Cody Schock sneakily getting 4th place on the night, which was epic to see. But unfortunately, we lost Jeremy Martin in the heat race. As some of you probably saw, he got turned around backwards going through the whoops. He got flicked off the bike and hit the back of his head on the up face of a whoop and immediately lost consciousness. Sounds like he was taken directly to the hospital as a precaution, but everything checked out. It's just a head injury, and by just a head injury, I don't mean to downplay the head injury. I mean, it is only a head injury. That is the only injury he suffered, so hope to see him back sometime soon. The good news is he does have about a 3-week gap between races here, so there's a chance we could see him racing in round 2, but we don't know for sure. We do know it was a head injury, and all of his other extremities seem to be fine. Additionally, Jett Reynolds didn't even make it into qualifying. He fell in free practice and suffered a broken collarbone. There is a chance that we could see him in round 2. I believe he did get it plated already. It would not be unheard of for a rider to race with a plated collarbone. However, I don't think he's looking to try to prove anything, so I do expect him to try to get back to full health. Hope to see him back soon. Hope for some good results. Wish him all the best. But the facts are he did suffer a broken collarbone. Most likely he will miss round 2 and 3. We won't really know for sure, though, until we get to each round and see if he's able to start and how he's feeling. Now, unfortunately, we still do have a couple more injuries to cover, so it's not surprising given the extent of the pileup in the first turn. If you guys saw the guy that's kind of on the bottom of the dog pile, it was actually Ferry. He was the one who got sent all the way into the wall, so unfortunate to see that for him. It was his first ever Supercross race, first ever Supercross main event, and he ended up with the short end of the stick at the bottom of the pile, head first into the wall, and was knocked unconscious. So sounds like he was evaluated on site and released with a head injury and no other issues. So hopefully he can take some time off, heal from the head injury, and we can see him back healthy soon, sometime soon this season. But that is what happened to him. We have one more injury, and unfortunately, it's probably the biggest injury of the night. Cullin was in the main event, and he got a little bit tied up in that first turn crash, but he was able to just kind of stop and go around it, only to have an even worse get off where he ended up landing and dislocating his wrist and then ghost riding the bike. I don't know if, you could argue between him and Jett Reynolds on who suffered a worse injury, but he definitely had some extremely bad luck. If you read his Instagram post, it sounds like he just couldn't catch a break. I do think we'll probably see him back at round 2 since there is a nice break in between the rounds, but definitely a tough go. Ended up with a DNF, and I believe he got 20th, so he was running up there towards the top 10 after going around that first turn pileup, and unfortunately was unable to finish the race. So hate to see that for him. Really solid rider, seems like a nice guy, but I do expect him to recover quickly. Hopefully he can make it back for round 2. That's going to go ahead and do it for this injury update video, guys. If you enjoyed, please give me a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe. I'm going to be looking to cover all kinds of content all season long, so I hope you guys are here for it. With that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.